Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for hanging out with me for this special video where I will be talking about my 2024 Disney album. If you'd like to see what I'm starting, stick around. It's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this video. Today is kind of a little bonus video. I wasn't sure if I was going to be sharing anything yet for Try It Tuesday, which is my Tuesday scrapbooking series or series I use reserved for scrappy projects. I've been trying to, when I share scrappy projects for Try It Tuesday, post them on Tuesday. So here we are. I had a little bit of time because I've been sick. So I was able to start kind of going through Disney photos, which as a memory keeper is fun to look back on, but it's such a pain to try to figure out, in my opinion anyway, how you want your photos to turn out, what kind of layouts you want, how big or small you want them, that type of thing. So I have this 6x8 album. I know when I hauled it, when Ali Edwards had a huge sale, I think it was the end of the year sale, I said I didn't know what I was going to be using it for. And I forgot that that's why I purchased it. So I purchased the red one because I feel like that's perfect for Disney. And so this is from Ali Edwards. I made the intro page last night. So I added some enamel dots and this chipboard sticker. These letters, which came from Photo Play. A couple of stickers, this one and this one I just got from scrapbook.com. That's on one of my more recent Flip Through Friday hauls where if you look under Flip Through Friday's playlist and you look at like big scrapbook.com haul, then you'll see everything I hauled for working on this album. And then I have Tinkerbell here, which I've had this for quite a while. I think I purchased it last year for last year's album. And so, yeah, this is the intro. This paper is actually from when I used to do Happy Planner, this memory keeping, cardstock, which is already pre-punched to fit a big Happy Planner. And some of the pages have like space for photos and prompts, but the papers are great. So I will be using these and I think they're perfect and bright and fun for this album. And then the backside already was like this. So I decided, I'm like, oh, there's 5 of these like rainbow colored strips. We spent 5 whole days at different parts of Disney. We did check-in on Sunday and we left on Saturday, but the meat and potatoes of this trip was Monday through Friday. So this was perfect. It's just kind of like a little intro, if you will, into our trip. So I created this little collage in Diptych, which is an app I have. I think it was like $2 or $3. I use it all the time. And then I printed it out on HP photo paper. It's just glossy photo paper. I've tried the Papermate, or not Papermate, the Epson like fancy photo whatever. I don't really care for it. I don't like the way it looks. I don't know if it's not great with my printer or what. But anyway, this is a selfie we took on the plane. So I put ALB because that's the airport we left from, and MCO, we are here. That's the airport we arrived in Orlando. And that's Nora waiting for the tram to pick up our our baggage claim. And this was the night before we left. We did Disney nails. And in Art of Animation, which is where we were staying, they had this little Nala, and you would, throughout the week, she'd change where she was in what room, and you would take a picture and bring it back to the front desk and show them that you found her, and they would give you this pin. The first time you find her, they give you a pin, and then every time you find her while you're there, you get a paw. So that's so cute. So I took the little, like the needle part off so that I can put these in here at some point. So that was like day 1, and I plan to go in chronological order. So I already picked out this paper, which is from Simple Stories, Say Cheese at the Park. I'm going to put this picture here that I printed of Nora. She wanted to do, it was so funny. She wanted to do like this little photo shoot around the property. We did this while my husband was picking up the grocery order. So this is around the hotel. There's Rafiki and Scar and Zazu and Mufasa. And then the next page is going to be Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba, and there's Nora underneath, and then Nora in the little like elephant graveyard. There's hyenas up, like Shenzi and the other hyenas there on top. But I love this picture of her, so cute. So this is like just getting there and exploring the property literally on Sunday. I don't know at what point I will include like the pins that we got. Like my husband and I were celebrating our 10th anniversary. That's why we went. So I need to include those. I also want to include our room key, which I'm not sure where I put. I mean, we didn't use it. We used our magic bands, but you know what I mean. It's just like another little piece of ephemera. So I'll probably include that. And I was thinking of keeping it really simple and just focusing on the photos because the photos are so bright, colorful, and fun. I don't think it needs a ton of embellishing. Okay, and then the next page, let's see, what was that going to be? Okay, so the next page is going to be, oh, this. I'm gonna have to like glue this on the back. And then I was going to put this picture inside because it's like so cute and representative of our hotel. We stayed at the Ariel section. So I was going to blow that up and put like sequins in here and make this a shaker. And then next to it, more pictures of Nora around our property. So she's got the dingle hopper, the treasure chest, Eric, although his head got cut off, but it's fine. Ursula, Sebastian, King Triton, he's right in front of our hotel, like right behind him is where you walked up to our rooms. There was a little playground that's all, and like the pool is all Nemo themed, which is so cute. So there's Squirt and Crush, and I don't think you can really see it very well here, but my husband's holding up Nora so that she looks like Crush, what Crush is doing. It's so cute. So, and then the next morning we went on the Skyliner because our hotel was on the Skyliner, which is one of the ways you can get to some of the parks. I love this picture. So we took the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios, and like we get there, we go to Toy Story Land right away, which is like our favorite. So we saw the marching band, like the Green Men, and then there's Woody and Jesse. And then this picture I took. And then on the back, another photo of when you're entering in. That was the first ride we did, and it's kind of funny because last year that was the first ride we did. So this is the Swirling Saucers, and last year she did it with my husband. This year she did it with me. And then the next page is all of these photos I took from Toy Story Land. So I made this grid again in Diptyque. What I'm going to do is create a fold out. And then I have pictures from, so for Toy Story Mania, we didn't use the Fast Pass because, or Lightning, whatever, Genie Plus. I don't even know what it's called. We didn't use the Fast Pass. So, because there was like not really a standby wait and you can only use it reserve one ride at a time. So we had reservations for Slinky Dog. So we were like, well, let's just chill. And then so we did the Swirling Saucers, which had like no wait. And then walked right on to Toy Story Mania, which we love. We did it like 2 or 3 times last year. So I like really edited this photo because it's really dark in there, but you sit in these little cars, like 2 people on each side, and you put on the 3D glasses, which is, where is it? Oh, this photo of Matt and Nora. And you shoot at things. It's really cool. It's really interactive. And this was just some of the really cool, like this, and this are all from that. And then we did Slinky Dog. So I took a picture of Slinky Dog. So you walk over from Toy Story Mania, you go up the bridge, and then we went in on Slinky Dog. And Nora and I got to sit in the front row, which was awesome. So that actually, you can see there's the back of Slinky's head, and that's the very end. They're like singing "You've Got a Friend in Me." So I'm going to create a flip out of that, and that's pretty much Toy Story Land for us. And then I'm thinking, so these are all the characters that she met in Hollywood Studios. Not all, I think there's a couple missing, but Chippendale, Daisy, Nancy, Olaf, Edna, Frozone, Minnie, and Mickey. So that's going to be like a full page photo. And then, oh, I also have these little photos from our room, which I need to like include somehow. Like our beds and like the curtain separating like the vanity area in the bathroom. This was the shower curtain. And then Nora's favorite part was this like seashell mirror. So I need to include those little photos. What else? So I think that's really it for now. Like, I'm gonna go, like I said, in chronological order. I took hundreds and hundreds of photos, so I'm hoping that it all fits in this album. Because, you know, it was only 5 days, but still. And I'll show you quick how I have all my supplies. So in this giant tub, I have this older like packaging from Heidi Swap. This has like the stuff I got from last year when I made my Disney album. So it has like this 12 by 12 paper pad from Simple Stories, and some 12 by 12 papers, like one-offs that I got at Joann. And then it has like the older 6 by 8 paper pad. So that's the older collection. I didn't love that. I think, so this is from 2020. The one that I purchased this time around is from 2022, and I like it so much better. So again, I showed all these things in my haul video, so you can check that out, but I'm just showing you how I'm, for now, storing it. This is, these folders are from Dollar Tree. They come 3 to a pack, and they're amazing because they're clear. And I'm just keeping scraps for this album in here. I put all of the Fantasyland collection and pastel ones, like embellishments, in this little packaging sleeve. This one is like the main Say Cheese collection. So some of the one-off papers I purchased, and then a lot of the embellishments here I kind of tucked in the front. These two are from Paper Person Shop, and these are not like Simple Stories, but they're part of like, they'd be more for the main collection they'd go with, so I put them in there. Then this one's got like Adventureland, Frontierland, like Animal Kingdom, and then Tomorrowland. So, and then I just have like all my garbage, aka ephemera. Oh, here's the, no, that's from something else. But different pieces of ephemera that I've collected from the trip. And then this is the paper pad with all 4 of the collections for Say Cheese. And then a bunch of stamps that I have that are related. I have a ton of Disney stamps. This one, and this one. These are all from Studio Calico. And then these 2 that I grabbed at like Joann or something. This is just a generic amusement park one from Paper Person Shop. And then this, another one from Joann. This is Paper Person, and this is Allie Edwards. So today I think maybe I'll film whatever I can, and I'll speed it up and do the voiceover, and then yeah, that'll be it for me. So let me know if you guys are interested in seeing any process videos for this. I mentioned this in a couple of my other videos recently, that I'm thinking like very, very, very like lightly toying with the idea of starting a Patreon where I share process videos that I wouldn't normally like take the extra time and effort to film, because honestly it's easier for me to just create without filming and like editing and uploading. Like editing takes way longer than the process sometimes. So I would love to know if you guys would be interested in something like that, maybe a Patreon where I add content that doesn't get posted to YouTube. So I've kind of been thinking about that. But yeah, I am going to do some of this planning or process scrapping on video right now, and I would love to hear you guys' feedback. And if you've ever done a Disney album, where you like to purchase your supplies or what items you like to use. All right, friends, let's go, let's go. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is creating a little slit in this grid of photos for the room key. And at first I accidentally put a slit where I don't want there to be one, but it's fine. It ends up working out. You'll see in just a second. So I'm going to use some score tape to kind of create like the adhesive pocket around the card so that it doesn't slide, you know, and get lost once I back this paper. So once I get all of that backing peeled off, I'm going to adhere the back side of this page, which is the quad photo of Nora taken around our hotel. And I know I could just lift on the card, but I decided to add this little sticky tab from Ali Edwards just so that I know, or whoever's looking at this album knows, that they can pull there. And I should probably add some sort of, I don't know, word phrase sticker or something that says or indicates that, you know, that is for you to pull on. A few little last minute things I end up doing are adding some blue puffy hearts from Paper Person Shop that I have in my stash. I just felt like I wanted to add a little bit more embellishment to the photo and to the page, so I thought that adding 3 of those might make it look a little bit more cohesive. And that's the end of that page. Flipping over to some of my absolute favorite photos from the vacation, Nora's mini photo shoot. I'm going to use the star pattern paper from the Simple Stories 12 by 12 paper pad 2020 collection to kind of bring those 2 pages together, so it's like a 1-page spread on 2 pages, if that makes sense, or a 1-page layout, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, I'm not a scrapbooker, but you know what I'm trying to say, hopefully. And then these little ephemera bits are from Simple Stories, say Adventure or something like that, or Adventure at the Park. So I thought they were perfect. The Welcome Explorers. And then that little banner is actually from Heidi Swapp. It was, for some reason, they were out on my desk and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same yellow. So I used that to separate the 2 photos and add a few more embellishments with the leaves there. So I just want to mention that I will edit out any content where I feel like it's not very, it's either too redundant, like it takes longer than it needs to for me to explain what I'm doing, and or it's like just dead air and I like step away for something and then come back, because I just let my phone roll while I am making these pages. So I ended up working on this for 2 hours and I got quite a bit done, which I'm pretty proud of, but still nowhere near halfway through with day 1. So I think I underestimated how long this album would take me to make and how chunky it's going to get. I'm a little bit scared. So I had to figure out, like, I wanted to add a title that said Art of Animation, because that's kind of telling you, like, that's where we're at. And I wanted a couple of different alphas. So animation's a long word. So I decided to use these smaller alphas from Paper Person Shop. And I went with green because I felt like that picked up the greens in the photos and in some of the ephemera bits. And I really like it together. The yellow and the green I think looks really nice. So, and then the capital ones are from Heidi Swapp. So these are older, just things I'm using that are in my stash. And I'm just playing around with letter placement and trying to make it look a little bit more even. Then I'm going to use my glue pen to reinforce the alphas because those Heidi Swapp alphas are older. So yeah. And then I kind of just play with the spacing a little bit. Then I'm going to adhere some of these florals to the left side of the page. I wasn't planning on doing that, but then I decided that I thought it would be a good way to, again, bring the 2 pages together a little bit. And then I'm going to put the leaves down first and do that journaling piece of ephemera there. I'm going to spell out Sunday on the top with the same lowercase alphas I used to spell out animation, and do my journaling, of course, which says, we're here. Nora was so excited to finally arrive at AOA. We unpacked and explored the hotel, grabbed lunch at the food court, and watched the Lions beat the Buccaneers. Matt picked up our grocery delivery while Nora and I had a mini photo shoot. And so that's what all these photos are. So I'm going to skip over the journaling to spare you, and then add some of my tape to the back. This is my least favorite Tombow tape, just putting it out there. But I did accidentally pick up a 3-pack of them, so I'm using them. It just catches a lot and it gunks up a lot, and it is just doesn't leave a clear line of tape, which is really annoying. I prefer the pink one. So anyhow, once I get that where I want it, I can then layer the banner underneath it. I first put down this one big adventure chipboard piece and realized later that it's covering Zazu's head. So I have to use my magic elixir, aka Undo. And if you've never heard of it, I've discovered it through the stickering world, the planner world, and it's amazing. You can pour it on almost anything, and it will not ruin the paper. It will not ruin the sticker. It will allow you to peel up whatever is sticky and replace it. It's literally a miracle, and it's in my Amazon storefront in case you're curious. I don't think you can buy it though in California for whatever reason. Whatever's in it, you know, it's not great. It's very odorous and has a very strong smell. So I'm sure there's some health risk in using it or something. You probably want to wash your hands after you use it. I never do, because in my mind, everything causes cancer. So I'm just living on the edge over here. Scrapping away, living on the edge from the safety of my craft room surrounded by pens. Anyway, that is those 2 pages together. So stinking cute. I absolutely love the way they turned out. So I decide not to use the whole page protector and just use part of it. So I had plugged in my fuse tool so that it would get warm. And I decide just to create a shaker pocket around this 4x6 photo. And I'm really glad that I did that, because I think it's way easier than trying to adhere the plastic without, you being able to see any of the adhesive that you're going to use. I also decide that that's going to leave a lot of white space. I don't decide it, I realize that doing that will leave a lot of white space on the back of this page. So I end up pulling down a bunch of thickers, word phrases from various American Crafts collections. And I choose the Sun Chaser collection from Heidi Swap, because the blue is an exact match for the photos and that cardstock paper, which is from Damask Love, that blue paper there, or teal, aqua, whatever you want to call it. So while I'm waiting for my fuse tool to heat up, I'm going to work on the right side, which is very simple. I just back it on white computer paper. It's a little bit thicker than regular copy paper. It's like 24 pound. So it's a little bit sturdier, but not by much. And then I'm going to leave a pocket for journaling, and that was like another totally last minute decision. So I end up going through a bunch of papers and settling on this one from the old Happy Planner memory keeping book. Then I'm going to trim it down so that I have the Let the Memories Begin portion and create a little tag. It's about, I don't even know, 4 by, yeah, I don't know. Let me measure it right now. Let me grab a ruler. Sorry for the noise. It's about just over 3 inches wide by about 4 3/4 inches tall. It was going to be a different size, but then I realized that there were like colored parts on the back of this patterned paper, which ends up not mattering because off camera I end up, those little tiny photos I showed in the intro part of the video, like the real-time part of our hotel room, I ended up taping to the back side of this tag. I thought it was the perfect place to keep them. So right now, all you're going to see is me create the front part of the tag, but then the back part, I will actually add photos later on. And you'll get to see that if I do, or when I do a full flip through of my completed album, which hopefully will be done within the next couple months, because this is a lot. This is a lot. But it's so, so fun. Like, I'm loving every second of this. And it's definitely different than something I'm used to, because I don't, like, the scrappiest projects I do consistently, it's just one, is Project Life. And that is so different from doing something like this type of 6x8 album, which I guess would be December Daily-ish. But I'm not by any means an expert on doing mini albums like this, travel albums, vacation albums, specialty albums. I just started scrapbooking a couple of years ago in the modern sense of the term. I mean, for sure, I did like collages and had like little chintzy scrapbooks that I made back in like high school and college, maybe one or two here or there. But so I've always had a love for crafting, but this type of crafting and paper crafting and scrapbooking is pretty new to me. This is my second year doing something like this. I did a Disney album last year, which I can link at the end of this video. But that was, honestly, I think that was my first time doing any other type of scrapbook project than December Daily before that and Project Life. So I've since, 2 years gives you plenty of time to, if you are as consistent as me with crafting and scrapping, it gives you a lot of time to try new things and consume lots of helpful YouTube videos and take classes through Ali Edwards or, wherever it is that you take them. I think there's like big picture classes. Studio Calico maybe has some classes. So, I've definitely picked up some techniques along the way, which is why I decided to do this simple shaker page out of just the one photo. So I decided to make my own mixture because I do have this like seashell blue sequin mix from Michaels, but I wanted to add in a couple of darker blues. So I grabbed this other pack of sequins, also from Michaels, and made my own little mix. So there I go, dumping in my little tray. And it's more just about the look. And I still feel like it looks too light blue, so I add in some more purple and bluish green stars, decide that that's good, dump it in the pocket, seal it up with the fuse tool. And then I'm going to use some red line tape to adhere it to the other side of the page. Once I get that down where I want it, that's when I play with the Life is Good alphas and decided to just have them going across the top. I kind of played around for a little bit, which I edited out, the idea of putting it in different spots on the page. Like I thought, oh, I'll put Life is on the top and is in the middle and good at the bottom, but it looked kind of crazy. So I decided to keep it simple, which is okay. I think the shaker pocket adds enough oomph, and I really did want the emphasis to be on that. So I just curve the words a little bit around the top portion of the photo. And then I pull the enjoy sticker and put that at the bottom to kind of ground it. And then I put 3 of the puffy hearts on the other parts of the border. And then I forget to stamp the date, and I want to do that. And so I use my date stamp, my rolling date stamp, to stamp it 3 times. And then I went back on the other page and did the same. I'm adding a few puffy hearts to this grid photo page. I want to keep it really simple and let the photos do the talking. And then I'm going to add a little bit of washi underneath the Let the Memories Begin portion and just journal a tiny bit that says, and the photo shoot continues. Nora was so funny. Mom, take my picture over here. Mom, how about here? Matt holding her like crush is my fave. And that's all I did for the journaling part. Oh, and I did create that. I forgot to narrate the part where I put the eyelet in, but I did that earlier when I was yapping about scrapbooking and this being sort of a newer adventure for me, or on the newish side. Definitely not something I'm comfortable or familiar with. So now I'm done with those 2 pages, and now it's time to move on to the Skyliner page, and then sort of like the intro to our first day at Hollywood Studios. And I super love what I decided to do. I'm definitely influenced by seeing some of Laura Wanzik's older Project Life albums where she would like take children's storybooks to document her everyday life, and Leilani Scraps does the same thing and isn't afraid to use like whatever types of ephemera speak to them and make, their album a little bit more fun and unique. So I'm going to get to that part in a second once I finish selecting some of these ephemera bits from the Paper Person shop. So I took this brochure from our hotel room, and since there was a title and a photo for every theme park within Walt Disney World, I took that out and decided to use that to back this side of the spread that will have the Skyliners. And I didn't really want it to be covered up, so I ended up creating a flap, which I knew I wanted to use these cut aparts because of the fact that they are of the Skyliner itself. So I cut both out, not sure which I was going to use. And I select this pattern paper that I thought went well from that 12 by 12 paper pad to fill in some of that white space. So I'm going to tape down the Hollywood like magazine part, trim it so that it fits correctly on the paper, and then I'm going to glue down the filler strip that I had just trimmed down. I'm going to punch the holes, and then I have this photo of the Skyliner from different points of view, like as we're walking up to it, waiting in line, and a view of the Skyliner behind us, which is probably my favorite one out of all of those. So what I do is create a flap because I don't want to cover up the Tower of Terror, since that was like Nora's favorite ride and the first time she tried it and was so proud of herself for being so brave. So I just cut a 1-inch strip out of that same pattern paper and made a little hinge there. I'm going to cover up the back with the Skyliner cut apart, which fits perfectly on the back of this photo, which was totally unplanned. And then this other little piece of B-side from that same Doodlebug paper, which is on the right there. I just laid my tape on top of it. I'm going to use to do the journaling. So I wrote, "We woke up nice and early and packed our bags for the day. It was so amazing to walk and see the property on our way to the Skyliner hub. The ride was one of a kind. We loved being up high and the gorgeous views of the various resorts we passed over. In a few short minutes, we were at Hollywood Studios. Every day, our first order of business was to get Starbucks. First stop, Toy Story Land." So that's the journaling that's going to be on the back. I use some redline tape to make sure that it stays nice and where it's supposed to be once I create that hinge or flap. And then on the front of the photo, I'm going to embellish it just really simply. So going through some of those die cuts I selected at the beginning of this part of the page, I decide to go with "Let's go for a ride" and the "You can fly." This little cut apart wasn't adhered appropriately, so I end up adding a little bit more score tape to make sure it doesn't go anywhere or get caught when I'm flipping back and forth. So I want to create a little tiny word cluster at the top. So that's what I'm going to use those different phrases for. I also want to pull in the sticker of the Skyliner from this 12 by 12 Say Cheese at the Park cardstock sticker page. And you can see I have on my right hand there a tab, another one from Ellie Edwards. It's like this tie-dye orangish yellow, and it's the perfect shade. It matches that Hollywood banner perfectly. I wasn't quite sure where to put the Skyliner, and I decided I didn't like it hanging off of that word phrase, which is why I brought in a couple others. So I end up pulling the word phrase "wish big" from this sticker sheet to add a little bit of interest and depth, and that way I feel like it kind of pulls everything together. I love balance in groups of 3. And so now I am done with the left side, or so I think. I do end up putting day 1 with alpha stickers down the polka dot strip paper. And then moving on to the right, I end up deciding to put the picture of the strung lights in that spot. I was going to put a journaling card, but since I did journaling on the back of that quad photo of the Skyliner that I hadn't planned on doing, I decided to put that decorative photo on the front, and I really like it. I think it's great because it's 3 different perspectives of Toy Story Land, and all taken in the morning when we got there. So I'm just journaling on this card, which is from Paper Person, that says today's favorites: Slinky Dog, Dash, Toy Story Mania, Rise of the Resistance, Runaway Railway, and Tower of Terror. Those were our favorite rides out of all the rides we did, although we loved all the rides we did, but it says today's favorites, so I tried to be selective. And then I just used my Zig Clean Color Dot marker to make that Select Monday on that card. And then I'm going to put the chipboard magic word phrase on the top of the first 3x4 card or photo. And then I'm going to add 3 foam star stickers to each of those. And I realize these stickers are mostly for Tomorrowland, but they definitely work for Toy Story Land as well because of the crossover between Toy Story, because in Tomorrowland there's the I forget what it's called, but the game where you zap, you're going after Zurg, and it's like an arcade, like a live arcade. Anyway, they can definitely be used for this part of documenting Disney if you end up going to Toy Story Land, just FYI. And I didn't have specific Toy Story Land ephemera or scrapbook supplies, so I used what I had. So once I get those 3 stars in place, that's basically going to be it, other than adding the date, which I did, and then that day, spelling out day 1 down the left side of the page. These are some older alphas from Studio Calico that I have in my stash. And I think that's where I'm going to end up cutting filming for today. I wasn't planning on getting all of these pages done, but I was kind of on a roll. So I'm sure I'm going to do more off camera. Again, would love your feedback on a future Patreon potential. In the meantime, I will work on this album when I have time, and when I have time to film, I'll film and share and all that good stuff. So here it is, what I have so far, sort of the itinerary, us at the airport, photo shoot around Art of Animation, the photo shoot continues right around our portion of the resort. It also had cars, but we didn't go over there at all. And then, of course, the beginning of our day from the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing this process video that was unexpected and the introduction to my Disney album. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you're not, and thank you so much for being here. Take care, friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye.